You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
The Beast is back, and we are back. Let me be the 100th person to wish you guys a Happy New Year. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV. This is SmackDown AfterBuzz. I am Christian Rosenberg, your host. However, Kaori is still out of town. Rome is still out of town. So how do I make up for a large black man from Alabama and a beautiful Asian? I got a tall, lanky Texan who's a curtain jerk in Mr. Scott Narver from Main Event AfterBuzz sitting with me today. How are you, sir?
I am good. That's what happens when you put the two of them in a lab. I come out. I think there was a mix-up.
Mix Rome and Corey in a lab, and out comes Scott Narver.
Yeah, I think there was a mix-up with the vials. They're still checking on that. I may be returned.
You kind of technically just said their baby would look like Scott Narver.
Yeah.
I kind of just said that.
Yeah.
At a Dave & Buster's, if you get both of their pictures in the little booth and then it prints out the baby.
That's you.
This, right here.
It's a guy who's like 8 inches taller than them and about 120 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
5 times cooler.
Oh, look at that. Steven likes you.
Yeah. And is not good at math.
Well, you know what you are good at? You're good at talking wrestling.
I am. Right, ladies? I was met with silence. Where'd all the ladies in the studio audience go?
They're getting their popcorn and getting ready to take their seats.
You weren't right.
What?
What?
I said you weren't right.
This has started off as a complete disaster. Let's get into the show. SmackDown from Washington, D.C., the first SmackDown of 2014.
The first.
Yes, thank you for reiterating that.
Reiterating.
Repeating. A bunch of that. This is going to be 45 minutes of this.
You know what, Renee? When we're done with this show,
Wait,
no one will be laughing anymore.
Why are you looking over there? Why are you looking
Go
over there? I'm right here. Where are you looking?
We'll get to that segment.
Yes, we will. That was foreshadowing. All right. We start off with the Shield. Shield coming down to cut a promo at the beginning of the show.
That's right.
And it's pretty much Ambrose going nuts. Talking about how everyone's saying, you know, we're disintegrating, there's tension mounting, you know, that we're not on the same page anymore, and that they're crumbling from within, but everyone's dead wrong. CM Punk is also dead wrong. And they all just like then take turns on the mics talking about there are no weak links, and in the end, the Shield will prevail because they always do.
And we have slimy hair.
They all just came out of the shower. And, you know, pretty much saying we will prevail and we will dominate, believe in the Shield.
They dominated 2013. Why wouldn't they dominate 2014?
Everyone said the Shield had 2013. 2013 was the year of the Shield. Not Punk, not even Dan O'Brien, as great of a year as he had. They were saying it was the year of the Shield.
That's right.
So, who in 2014 is going to kick off cutting the Shield off? Who is the one that's going to step out there after the Shield cut that promo? Is it going to be Punk because he's been dealing with them? Could it be Dan O'Brien coming back? Maybe Cody Rhodes and Goldust.
Maybe Brock Lesnar. We heard his theme at the top of the show.
His theme was here earlier. Maybe he's just going to come out and dominate. No, we have the Usos.
No, wait, that can't. Hold on.
It actually was the Usos.
Let me see.
You want to check, you know, both sides of that page of notes of yours.
That's weird. No, it was two
the
guys
Usos.
that looked exactly the same. It was.
Yeah, that's the Usos.
Oh, yeah, that's
Look at
the
that.
Usos.
They are twins. So we're starting things off with tag team action. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus the Usos. I know we joke about why was the Usos there, but every time we have the Shield versus the Usos, we're always in store for a good match. And
it was fantastic.
This was no exception to that rule. And, of course, we had Dean Ambrose on commentary.
So the match was even better.
Normally, I was a little thrown off this time. Because as much as I love Ambrose talking, I almost felt like this time on commentary, he was talking too much to the point where the commentators and Ambrose were busy all talking over each other. And it just kind of got a little sloppy at times where you couldn't even understand what the commentators were saying because everyone was speaking at once.
Are you saying Michael Cole got drowned out and that made it a lesser experience for you?
I'm saying that Michael Cole trying to call the action, JBL with his great wit, and Dean Ambrose with his awesome promo skills, when you mix them all together, it's almost like the equivalent of mixing up Roman Corey and getting you.
True. Disappointing. People commenting right now, no, I don't like this guy. Couldn't you get Gabby from Main Event? What's going on? She's pretty.
Everyone else was busy.
I know.
The hobo lives on the street and was busy.
Someone gave him a free cell phone, so he took it, and he was like, I'm going to live the life of a movie star.
Well, Ambrose on commentary, one thing that I did like during it, though, he was talking about, because Cole asked him about the tension building with him and Roman Reigns.
Right.
Because Punk pretty much calling Ambrose the weak link on Raw and everything. And Ambrose was talking about, Roman and I, what we've dominated for the last year. We've closed down every bar and saloon from here to Singapore. I would think you would get in trouble if you were closing all these bars down eventually.
You'd think so, but I guess it's they're the new horsemen, you know?
Well, since they have their own justice, maybe they have no rules.
They have tactical vests. They don't need to have the bouncers there. They can send them home early. You know, they're taking care of the place.
Have you noticed that Ambrose decided to get rid of the vest and he just goes with the Under Armour now?
It weirds me out.
Like he's the only one without the vest now. Like if all of them just went Under Armour, that'd be one thing. Or if all of them were the vest, fine. Why does Ambrose? He sticks out more with it now.
It's really odd. I don't get it. I assume he doesn't like to land on the pockets when he takes bumps.
I don't know. You could have always added like extra padding. That's a quote unquote shield.
He's removing the shield.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't believe in his own shield.
Maybe. Good match, like I was saying, as always. Usos are mounting a comeback, but then Ambrose runs into the ring, cause a DQ. Shield ganging up on the Usos, and then out comes one CM Punk. Now Punk comes out and helps the Usos chase off the Shield, and Usos music plays. And then as we head to commercial, Vicky comes out. And we're like, what does Vicky have to say?
That's not entirely true of what happened. Punk came out, music's playing, everything, and then New Year's resolution.
No, not yet.
I thought that came first, and then it cut back to Vicky coming out.
No, you were
Really?
wrong. You are wrong, sir. It was Vicky come out, commercial, then the New Year's resolution, then we're officially back from commercial, and everyone's still there.
I thought it played out differently.
I don't know.
Comment below if you on the YouTube page.
Yes, on YouTube or iTunes or in the chat roll, which neither of us are following at the moment. But Steven might be seeing it.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm right or if you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably right, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, who could be right? It could be me. You know.
Well, anyway, Vicky announces exclusively on the WWE app that, shockingly, this is going to result into a six-man tag match for our main event tonight.
Not right now.
Not yet,
Not right this second.
but
Give him a breather.
give him about an hour and a half. Shield versus Usos and CM Punk for the main event this evening. And like we said, we had that New Year's resolution of, that was from the Primetime Players for that one. Later on, we had one for Damien Sandow, and then we also had one for The Miz. On WWE's YouTube page, they have like 30 of like superstars with their resolutions, and you have to watch Great Khali's. That's all I'm saying.
I want to. You told me about it.
You can actually understand what he's saying. That's why I wanted you to watch it, because I was impressed. Like, because you actually understood everything that Khali was saying this time.
So was he auto-tuned? Is that what caused it?
That would be a great gimmick if they started auto-tuning Great Khali.
I hope they do. You can have that one, Triple H. You can have that one.
Hey, they have proven time and time again that they listen to this show, because
I don't doubt it.
We talk about things and then they happen. We told them that we hated Justin Gabriel's jacket. It's been gone.
Really?
Yeah.
The power of your show.
The power of the Rosebuds has gotten rid of Justin Gabriel's jacket. Yes. You're welcome.
I thank you.
I mean, because you see him more than I do, because you see him on Main Event.
That guy doesn't have a jacket on. I think he's a little cold.
Yeah.
I think he's a little cold.
Well, it's because of me.
Auto-tune, Great Khali. Let's have it.
Yeah.
Well, Miz wants to be a better person. I found that to be odd.
He wants to be more awesome.
Yeah. He wants to be a better person and be more awesome.
Yep.
Which Well, then tag Kofi. You know,
I
when
know,
he goes
right?
for that tag,
Right.
That would be a better person.
Yes, it would.
And stop handing out movies of Christmas Bounty. Stop handing out copies of that movie.
Well, the holidays are now over, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing not many people are buying them right now.
Well, please
Right
stop handing them
now.
out. It's not nice. That's a Grinch maneuver.
Now, once we get to around Thanksgiving time of 2014, you can start plugging it again.
Did you watch it?
Nope.
Okay, I did.
Okay. What are you trying to say?
It's a little rough.
Oh,
It's a little rough.
all right.
He's charming, but it's a little rough.
All right. Fandango versus R-Truth. Let's just move on to that. Back-to-back matches where we have a guest commentator. Xavier Woods sitting on commentary for this match.
I thought it was going to be a theme the whole night.
It started out that way. Mm-hmm. And we have, I was joking how the talk was Xavier Woods was doing Brodus Clay better than Brodus Clay.
Right.
As they're walking down in the ring, I felt like Xavier Woods was doing R-Truth better than R-Truth. Like, he can move to the beat. He knows all the lyrics to the songs.
He's a good hype man.
He's a great hype man, actually. So I just found it kind of interesting. And they were talking about on the commentary about Brodus Clay's promo when he appeared on Miz TV this past main event, which I know was over the holiday, so you guys did not have a chance to do this
We
one.
had our vacation.
You had your vacation, and I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Well, fantastic.
Great.
But Brodus Clay's promo from this past main event, to me, and I was tweeting about this, was by far the best thing I've seen Brodus Clay do in his entire WWE career. It kind of debuted a whole gimmick. It showed that he can talk. And
Is he being monsterish, would you say? Because that's what it started when he was with Alberto Del Rio as his muscle. That was a good build, and then it went away.
not really a monster, but more of just like, kind of being like a punk type deal.
Okay.
Like, dude, I made these guys. It was pretty much the incentive. And they brought up the fact of the WrestleMania match being canceled. And he was blaming it on Tensai and the Funkadactyls.
Interesting.
And I loved that because they brought it back in.
Okay.
So I was all for it. So if you haven't watched it, you should check that out. So Michael Cole was talking with Xavier Woods about Brodus Clay and about the fact that, you're working on your PhD. And
Right.
Xavier's talking about less than 5% of the people in the world are doctors. And it's an even smaller percentage, obviously, of people in the WWE. So he's going to become like the only person in the world who is a doctor and a wrestler. And then JBL just owns him by naming every other character in the history of wrestling that had doctor in their name. Except he did not mention Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Or Doc Hendricks.
Or Doc Hendricks. But Dr. Tom Pritchard was mentioned. I think he mentioned Dr. Shelby.
Yes, he did.
I mean, it was just like he's just knocking them off, and I don't think Xavier Woods was expecting it. No. I think this was a great. To me, this is a great rib on TV to like a TV rookie per se. Even though Xavier's not a rookie, but to the WWE mainstream audience, he's a
Sure.
rookie.
Yes.
So I thought it was freaking brilliant of JBL and trying to watch Xavier kind of backpedal and try to
That's not what I. Well, all right.
Well, they weren't in-ring competitors. Or something. He's like, what about Dr. Tom Pritchard? And Xavier's like, crap, I can't do anything about it.
It's like, I had that all set up the whole week.
I was rehearsing on this.
Dang it.
Meanwhile, with the actual match, Fandango in control, and then Xavier hops on the commentator table just like he did on Raw.
Doing a better JBL than JBL.
Yeah, he put on JBL's hat. He just he's a great imitator, impressionist. And he goes and calls out for the Funkadactyls music to be played. And apparently, he has as much power as Vicky Guerrero and Triple H and all them, because if he wants someone's music to be played, it plays.
He does it. Yeah, he gets it. He summons.
And out comes the Funkadactyls, who distract Fandango. R-Truth gets the upper hand, hits the lie detector, gets the win. So on Raw and SmackDown, R-Truth picks up wins in heel-like fashion. True. Even though everyone's busy cheering for R-Truth, Xavier Woods, and the Funkadactyls.
It's unfair to do to Fandango because he's going to watch their dancing and criticize it and, have pointers for them. And so he's distracted.
And I kind of felt bad for Fandango in this because on Raw, he had a fantastic match with Big E for the Intercontinental title. Yep. Came up short, but the match was great. And then he has this match with R-Truth. It's like, okay, well, I would like to still see him around that title picture. So have him rebound, get the win over R-Truth, and go from there, especially since R-Truth is kind of in a tag team, so it makes sense for a singles wrestler to beat one half of a tag team. But no, we have the heel-like distraction on the heel.
Yeah. It's not even involving Brodus in any way.
No. And
to upset or irritate him.
No Brodus, no Tensai. Summer Rae, I think, just kind of stood there confused because because I was probably just as confused as Summer Rae. I'm like, why is this happening?
You and Summer Rae have a lot in common.
We do. We should date.
You should.
I should date her.
Triple H, please,
Let's make that happen.
pass on the information.
Yeah. Well, Steven a few weeks ago on here created an OkCupid profile for me, so hopefully...
Is that right?
Hopefully Summer Rae and I match up.
I think someone has some new photos to put on there, too.
Hey. My cheeks are getting rosy like my shirt. But yeah, so R-Truth wins, and then...
Poor Fandango.
Poor Fandango.
I don't look like a chump.
I know. I wasn't too thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Then we go backstage with Renee Young, who's talking to Big E Langston, asking about how Big E is doing and what's the status of his friend Mark Henry after Mark Henry was obliterated by Brock Lesnar on Raw. Speared through the barricade, and Lesnar not only F5'd the 400+ pound Mark Henry, he walked with him and threw him up.
I don't know if you know this, he also did something else very detrimental to Mark Henry. He blew out his eardrums with his high-pitched war cry.
That he did. Actually, the biggest injury that Mark Henry suffered was through his eardrums.
Yeah, after the F5, it was that, wah! And then Mark Henry was on the ground like, oh, man.
Can you do that one more time?
Wah! I think that was Lesnar scream.
I'm trying to think of what jungle animal that sounds more like than Lesnar. And it's not an intimidated one.
A toucan?
Maybe a toucan.
A toucan?
A toucan could work.
It's no lion.
Like a spider monkey? Mm-hmm. So
a spider monkey that's sick?
A sick spider monkey. That's what Lesnar sounded like. And we'll get more into that when we do the Raw rebound, which happens a little later when we talk more about Lesnar.
But he said that Mark Henry was out there looking for a match, not just a fight, which then it was on Mark Henry to bring a referee with him if he wanted a straight-up match.
Yeah. And what Mark Henry isn't capable of getting in a fight?
Yeah.
He's the world's strongest man, for crying out loud.
Yeah. And Brock did cry out loud with his war cry.
with the sick spider monkey war cry.
And then we had another sick spider monkey, just in physical appearance, with that longshoreman sort of, the beard and the curly hair.
You're talking about Curtis Axel?
I'm talking about Curtis Axel coming up, and he was laughing.
I'm the only one here that's really trying to I'm trying to get behind Axel.
I like
I'm trying.
Axel. He looks like a longshoreman, though. He looks like a longshoreman. And he came up and he was laughing, just what Christian's doing right now. He was laughing at Big E Langston.
He was laughing. He was talking about how he's like, oh, I'm not laughing at what happened to Mark Henry. Oh, actually, I am. And I'm going to be laughing even more after I beat you later tonight. And then...
This from the guy who hasn't beaten Big E Langston yet.
This is from the guy who hasn't beaten anyone recently.
He lost the title to Big E.
Yeah.
And now he's laughing in his face. So Big E really shows him, folks. He really tells him what's what.
He does.
Via Renee.
He says, Big E, after our match, won't be laughing at all. And he's staring at Renee as he's saying this. Well, Curtis Axel is 6 inches away from him.
He doesn't make eye contact with him at all.
No eye contact whatsoever. And he's saying his name, but the whole time he's staring at Renee.
It plays really odd.
Yeah. There are so many ways you can look into this. You can look into it in one aspect, which is a simple one, of Big E might have just goofed a little bit on the promo and was accidentally just staring at Renee because she was holding the mic with that.
Sure.
Or if you tried to look deep into it, you can be like, wow, he's talking about Curtis Axel, but looking at Renee because maybe he was told because Renee is more important right now than Curtis Axel.
Or, yeah, he's not even worth my time. I'm not going to look at him. That's how I'm not scared of him, as I'm going to keep talking to you. It needed that little bit more, though, to come off that way. Because Big E can carry it. I believe the guy. He's a big, scary dude.
And he can talk. I wasn't crazy about this promo. If you follow his Twitter and his Instagram, he is hilarious.
Yeah, he's a big goofy guy.
He has such personality that they need to start showing on TV Like there was this one that he
little
did
bit with Caitlyn when that whole thing happened when he revealed himself to be her secret admirer. Like there was moments of it there.
Yes.
And you thought he could have done it with Axel because he's not afraid of the guy. He knows he's going to beat him. So act a little goofy around him.
Yeah. We need more. We need a little more goofiness. We don't want him to turn into a comedy character,
right?
But we want to see the personality of him.
A little Rock elements, if they were like he could, pretend
like his
to be super
version.
scared of him all of a sudden, when he sees Axel, and then just get in his face and then drop the whole thing and be serious.
Yeah, definitely.
Things like that. He's able to do it. Allow him to do so.
Yes. From there, we get the recap of what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw between Dan O'Brien and the Wyatts. There has been an enormous uproar of people not happy about this, about him suddenly joining the Wyatts. I like it personally because to me, this opens lots of different doors to keep things unpredictable for the Rumble, for Elimination Chamber, into Mania. To me, this can set up this. I mean, there's so many ways this can set up. There can be dissension where you have Dan O'Brien somehow methodically gets in the minds of Harper and Rowe and causes separation. There's a thing where Dan O'Brien then tries to become the leader and the Harper and Rowe start following him instead of Wyatt.
Right.
There's the actual Rumble match where Wyatt or Dan O'Brien could help the other one win,
right,
or screw the other one over,
right,
and then cause main event matches into Mania, whether it's with Wyatt, whether it's Dan O'Brien. There are so many different ways that this can work, and
then he brings a Bella in there, into the Wyatt family.
Yeah, you can bring Brie in there,
breeding, and then having a bunch of Wyatts all over the place.
Wyatt babies.
Oh yeah,
running the muck.
You get an animated show, Wyatt babies. Wyatt babies and make our dreams come true.
I'm waiting for someone to make the meme of that one right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's being done as we speak. Hashtag Wyatt babies.
And then Nanny is played by Vicky Guerrero, and you only see her stalking, and she's constantly saying, "Excuse me." These could all happen.
I almost feel like that some of our listeners don't even know what we're talking about right now. Because we're that old.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a reference to the Muppet Babies Saturday morning cartoon, kids.
Google it.
YouTube it.
It's not that outrageous. They're going to do the movies with Scooby-Doo and stuff soon.
The Muppet Babies?
No, the WWE.
Well, WWE is doing the stuff with Scooby, yeah.
Yeah, it's a matter of time.
That'd be kind of cool to have the WWE guys with the Muppets.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Could happen.
But anyway, back to Bray Wyatt and Dan O'Brien. I mean, what do you think with this? Because do you like what happened? Because so many people are in the uproar saying, no, now they've taken Dan O'Brien out of the main event. Now they're turning him heel. I don't necessarily feel that.
I'm never upset by a guy being out of the main event picture. I'm only upset when a guy's taken out of featured storyline. Dan O'Brien's been a guy that's been featured in stories for the past 2 years, maybe three.
Close to around 2. I don't know about, 3.
Well,
I guess because of the 18-second WrestleMania match, which that head into this WrestleMania, that would have been.
Because all the stuff with AJ.
That was 28. That was WrestleMania 28 that happened, I believe.
Yeah.
So a little over 2 years, he's been in a big spotlight.
Yeah, he's been featured, and they keep giving him something. They keep giving him something with Kane. They keep giving him stuff with AJ, with Punk. All this storyline that you always have a timeline to follow the character and the growth and continuation of something going on. That stuff to me is great. Whether they're in the main event or not doesn't matter, because you got to occasionally shift guys out of there. And that's fine. Let there be Orton and whoever else being in there for the title right now. It's going to come down the line because he always delivers in these other storylines that happen. I enjoy that. So I love the Wyatt stuff. I love him being involved in that because he gets to have those matches with him. It doesn't have to be for the title. It's just featured stuff. And where does it go? It's the Austin joining the corporation, then he rips the tie off. And we're going to see that moment when he's with the Wyatt family and then breaks apart. It's fun. I dig it. I like it.
Yeah. And I agree with you. And we can find out if people agree with what we say by listening, well, not listening, by reading their comments on iTunes, where they can leave comments, like, and subscribe, and of course, giving us that 5-star rating. And we do so many more AfterBuzz shows than this. We do SmackDown, we do Raw, we do NXT. You do, what was that one that you do? What is that one?
Main Event.
Oh, Main Event. That's right. That one Wednesday nights here on AfterBuzz TV. And as well as if there's any other TV show that you watch, more than likely AfterBuzz does it.
Yeah.
So make sure you check it out. You can see the full schedule of the shows at AfterBuzzTV.com. And as always, leave your comments on YouTube as well, because we like to respond to it.
Hit the like button. Hit that like button.
That little like button.
Yeah,
maybe share.
thumbs up.
Maybe a
Yeah.
little retweet here or there.
And you could, we're very conversational on the YouTube.
This is true.
So you could chat with us
On our SmackDown AfterBuzz, I like to try to give almost like a homework assignment.
Oh.
And ask my rosebuds to answer it in the YouTube. So keep in mind, try to think of something that might be good. I'm trying to think of what a good question would be for people to answer this week.
Okay.
Maybe something we've already talked about, maybe something later on. But right now, we got, what do we got now? We got a
it's
tag
the
team
tag team
title
match.
match.
Yeah.
Tag titles, man. What a match this was.
Yes.
Cody and Goldust versus Harper and Rowan, who we were just speaking of. And we have an empty rocking chair. No Wyatt.
That's awfully nice of them to bring out the rocking chair.
The rocking
though.
chair is still there, and it's still rocking.
Yes.
That's the creepy thing.
Is that a cameraman that walks by occasionally and just kind of nudges it?
I have no idea, because, like, you can see the rocking chair from the distance. It was slightly rocking. There's no one on it. I mean, from that angle, you don't see strings.
No.
Like, how is it? What are they doing?
I don't
They're
know.
magical. But this match was just all sorts of fun. You had multiple hot tags. Goldust taking a beating. Cody taking a beating. Harper looking great. Rowan looked very good in this match. Cody, at a point, hopped on the second rope. Then from there, just like a step, like it was coming to stairs. Second rope, top rope, outside splash.
Yeah.
And he did it with like such fluidity.
Like, take Jericho's patented, jump to the second rope, outside splash. Cody upped it.
He did. He won up Jericho, which is something not many people can say.
Yeah, Jericho didn't invent that.
At least on WWE TV.
True.
I mean, he's invented a lot of stuff.
He probably did it in Germany at some point.
Maybe.
But yeah, a great match. All these guys got to showcase their skills. A good brawl at times, a good wrestling match at times. Like, it had a great mixture of all the components.
And the length felt right. It went probably somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes.
Because we thought it was a little early at one point, that it wasn't at the midway point of the show, but it definitely got to that point.
Yeah, normally a match like this starts around the 55-minute mark or so.
Yeah, it's your co-main event.
Yeah, like the main event of hour one, and it overlaps into hour two. This match started, we looked at the time when they were starting to walk down to the ring, it was at 42 minutes. So it was just like, wow, this is kind of early.
Yeah, hope they don't cut it short. Hope something weird doesn't happen.
But they didn't. It went a great length. And the finish, I loved.
It's a very cool
It was the wise veteran Goldust outsmarting Rowan with the blind tag. And then Eric Rowan hits a back body drop on Cody, which that means something's up, because babyfaces never take back body drops.
Is that true?
Think about it.
Think
about it.
I know Billy Kidman doesn't get power bombed. But I've never thought of the other.
Think about it. They almost never get back body drop, because that's always a move in the babyface's comeback.
I see.
So Rowan hits a back body drop on Cody, but in the midst of that, Goldust hit the blind tag and then rolls him up. So his hot tag is a roll up.
Yeah.
He doesn't like clean house like you usually do in a hot tag. Just roll him up, got the pin, and Goldust and Cody ran up the aisle. And then you pointed this out. We love this. Most guys in a situation like that, they're kicking the ropes, they're yelling at the ref, they are pissed off that they lost a match, they lost their chance at the gold, the titles, the extra prize money that you get for being a champion. Harper and Rowan.
All that extra airport security you have to deal with.
Yes.
It's going, what are these? Well, these are titles. I've won them on a show that I'm on.
I just always feel bad for the Money in the Bank person.
Yeah.
But Harper and Rowan, they just kind of just stand there. Just with the same kind of just zoned out looks on their faces.
But a lot going on.
Yes.
A lot going on.
Like they're out of there, but they're there.
It's Harper. You can read on his face that it's, oh, All right, you got me? All right, no big deal. Because we can beat you again at any time. Like, our time will come again. And Rowan's befuddled, but it's really great. They play different moments than what your typical wrestlers do.
Right.
Of the frustration or the anger or, any of that. God, they're amazing. They're really, really amazing. The whole faction.
I have a pretty strong feeling this is going to be a match at Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I mean, I'd be all for it. I'm more than happy to see these guys wrestle again.
My only complaint about this match, and for what it was, and it's a good complaint to have, is it's so odd that from the time that the Rhodes family was being formed together with Dusty and having the promos, getting their jobs back and doing all that, they don't let Goldust and Cody talk. They don't let them do segments. They don't let them cut promos about them being family or what their journey is together, which I find very odd because everybody was so emotionally invested in that to begin with. Mm-hmm. They've dropped it.
I think they dropped it just because they know their matches have been so good and they've been able, I don't want to say carrying whoever they're facing because their matches with Usos or the Shield or the Real Americans, those are guys that can wrestle really well too.
Yeah, they're bringing it out in each other.
But they're bringing the best out of each other. So it's just like, this is the type of thing where there's no talking necessary.
True, but I don't mind being reminded every so often of that journey going along with them, that yes, brothers finally together in the WWE now, wrestling together, having the gold, having the success. For when it does, if it does wrap up, of how much that means.
No, I mean, I agree. I wouldn't mind watching them talk because I want to see what Goldust does more. Like, I want to see just like little, he doesn't have to go full comedic, bizarre Goldust because that's not what he is right now. But you can have just like little like traces of it here and there.
Yeah, he wants to paint Cody's face one night for him, and Cody's, get off me, that's your thing, Little things like that. Just little reminders.
Yeah.
So that's my only gripe. But it's a good gripe to have because everything else is so great. I want more from these guys.
Yeah. Goldust still kicking ass at age, I think, 44 now.
It doesn't show.
It just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. From there, we get some Divas action. Mm-hmm. We have Oksana. Mm. We're getting her music. She's posing in the ring.
Right.
And we get a recap from Raw of Oksana getting the pin with what Michael Cole called like a unique finishing maneuver or something like that.
A neat move.
A neat move is pretty much what he called. I stretched it out. Which it was essentially
you labeled the moves silly.
It's an Eye of the Hurricane, but reversed in the form of a DDT.
Yeah, to the back of the head.
To the back of the head instead of the neck chest area, which I think is kind of unique, and that's a good move for her.
Sure.
And they had Oksana win the match on Raw.
Her collapsing on someone, good fit. Good fit for a finishing move. I think it works.
I wouldn't say she collapsed on someone.
Hey, she's using her body weight to press down on her opponent and knock him out for a 3 count. Well, that's another way of saying it.
Well, wasn't Oksana like a weightlifter or something in fitness or over in Lithuania?
Yeah, that's what they're starting to mention. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, she's one of those girls that is surprisingly strong. Like she doesn't look like she's super strong. Mm-hmm. But she's freaking strong.
Yeah, most fans might go like, "Oh, she's a little heavy" or something like that. It's like, well,
that's muscle.
That's muscle.
That's muscle. And so she's going one-on-one with Nikki Bella. So I'm actually kind of happy that Oksana got this time for a singles match on one of the big shows. People who have like followed me between SmackDown and Main Event over the last, it's almost been a year now that I've been here. They know I haven't been the biggest Oksana fan, and my biggest gripe with her was her lack of consistency. Because there'd be one match where I'd be really impressed, and then the next match I'd be like, what happened to that Oksana that I just saw?
Right.
So I'm hoping that we're going to be starting to see more of her based on we saw her win the match on Raw. She got some time here on SmackDown. Maybe help develop her, so we can all finally start really figuring out who Oksana is. Because I thought this was a solid Divas match. I thought Oksana looked good.
Yeah.
I thought Nikki looked all right. And Nikki with that power type backbreaker move, the Bella Breaker. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what they're calling it. They're calling Breeze the Bella Buster. So I'm guessing they should call this one the Bella Breaker.
That makes it sound like she's only breaks Bellas though.
Yeah. Well, or the breaker of bellows would cause that.
Okay, that's true.
But Nikki got her revenge on Oksana, gets the win, and we'll see how this develops in the weeks to come.
If it's a series of matches, I think that's all right because, as you said, it was a good match.
Yeah.
And same as well. I've been underwhelmed by Oksana before, and it turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So it was good to see. It's like Christmas Bounty. Then I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to watch this. And it's like, all right, it's okay. It's okay.
You just completely contradicted what you said like 15 minutes ago.
No, but you didn't let me explain because you got all worried.
I got worried?
Yeah. It's a family movie. It's not meant for everybody.
Well, I'm aware
old
of that.
and jaded.
This is true.
I'm old and jaded.
That's the most
and
true
Oksana,
thing you've
same
said
thing.
tonight.
You know, the average fan often goes into a Divas match with like, oh, this is no good. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to do this or that. But if you actually watch, you go, hey, this was okay. This match was okay. The ladies are really stepping up their game.
Yeah, that's why. I'm sorry, I almost cut you off there. I was kind of bummed on where they put the match. We had that great tag team title match.
True.
And yeah, you kind of want, generally they say, oh, the match that kind of calmed the crowd down from one of the big matches. So the default result is throw the Divas out there. I personally think this match and the Big E Curtis Axel match should have been switched.
I agree.
Because Big E Curtis Axel, obviously the fans are still going to be into that because you got your Intercontinental Champion. He's quickly becoming a fan favorite. But it's, it's a non-really hyped one-on-one match. It doesn't have a ton of build-up for it. So it's still a match that people can get a little calmed down for, but still enjoy. And then if people left for the bathroom break at that point because they were so excited, then they're all back to see that Divas match.
Yeah. You got to, run with it, appreciate it, and treat it like that. Because the same thing happened on Raw when it was the Lesnar-Henry segment, and then you had the 10 Diva tag match. And you go, well, how do you follow that? Whatever's in that spot, you're in trouble.
Right.
You just saw Lesnar and Henry
just saw Lesnar throw a 400-plus pounder over his head. Yeah.
It's a tough spot.
It's never an easy spot for that.
But this is a match well worth checking out.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we had, like I said, now we had the Big E versus Curtis Axel match. Good match. I don't have anything bad to say about it, but there was really nothing that really stuck out to me in it. Both guys look good. They work well together. I mean, as evidence from the matches that we've seen them have over the last month, 4 or 6 weeks or so. And Big E, big ending for the win. Right.
It's a standard TV match. I think these guys probably do a great match at a live event, at a house show, at a non-televised show.
Sure.
I think they probably get in a lot more and could do a lot more rather than, hey, you got 6 minutes, go.
Yeah.
So it's fine, like you said. It's okay, but nothing.
No, nothing jumped out at me. No. Then we get the recap from Raw, the official recap with Brock Lesnar, Mark Henry, which we've already kind of talked about throughout the show. But now we have a WWE.
It's so good, that's why.
Yeah, but and speaking of good, now we get the WWE.com exclusive interview between Michael Cole and Paul Heyman.
It's amazing how the exclusives end up on TV.
I know.
It's exclusive there, yet
they find a way. They pay someone off, clearly.
Someone. Yeah, someone in the truck. Some shifty guy.
Doesn't Joey Styles run the website now? Or WWE.com, or did he used to, or I don't know.
Probably not anymore with these leaks.
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, so Heyman talking about how, Lesnar's back because there's only one man now that can be called the champion. Only one man that's the man. And Brock Lesnar wants that spot. It doesn't matter to Brock whether it's Cena or Orton. Whoever comes out of the Rumble as champion.
Or Yoshitatsu.
Justin Gabriel, Zack Ryder, Santino.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oksana.
Jinder. You never know.
Never.
Darren Young.
Joey Styles.
Joey Styles comes back and wrestles. Who knows who it could be? El Torito.
Yeah. Oh, please let it be El Torito versus Brock Lesnar. Please let that happen.
I would pay $59.95 to see that.
I would match your price. Join in with you.
And then what I found interesting was Paul Heyman brings up Batista.
Yes.
In his promo about Lesnar.
Yes.
Now, this was something I want to make sure that got a chance to talk about because since I was gone over last week, not this past Monday, but the previous Monday is when they started hyping Batista's return. I've yet to have this microphone to talk about what I feel about Batista returning.
They don't let you keep that microphone. You got to keep it here in the studio.
That's why I know. That's why I had to wait.
Yeah.
I was patient. And now I have my time. I'm worried.
So go ahead.
Oh, okay, thanks. And my mic's been muted. Perfect timing, Steven. My mic was muted.
Now would be the time.
I'm
right here on AfterBuzz, which is available on iTunes and on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, five stars, like the...
Are we good?
Yes, we are good.
Okay. I'm worried.
Batista by Christian Rosenberg right here, right now.
Here's my dissertation. I'm worried about this.
Oh.
I'm worried. And I feel bad for Punk and Daniel Bryan and Wyatt's and all of them because...
They weigh 200 pounds less than Batista.
That's one thing. But you got Batista.
Yes.
And you got Brock Lesnar. The last couple of years we had The Rock. All these part-time guys are going to be taking the main event. And the main event of WrestleMania 30, that should not go to someone that's only there once a month or, there for a 6-week span and then gone for 2 months. I would love if it was Batista versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I am all for that match as long as there's no title in there. I am extremely worried that they're going to let one of those two guys win the Rumble because I want someone that was really, and I'm not trying to talk, I would never talk down to any of those guys because they can break me in half and in quarters and eighths and everything. But I want someone that we've been growing with on TV week in and week out.
Right.
I mean, whether it's Punk, whether it's Dan O'Brien, whether it's Titus O'Neil, Sheamus is coming back.
Right.
We have all these guys. I don't want the main event of the biggest show of the year, not just of the year, but this is WrestleMania 30, to be a guy that by June won't be there. I don't know what your thoughts are with that.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You want John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio to main event WrestleMania because those guys are there all the time. So that's what you want.
Yeah, I absolutely want John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio to main event, of course.
I feel you.
No, but I want, whether it's Cena or Orton as a champion, because more than likely one of them is going to be the champion heading into WrestleMania. I don't care if it's Orton Punk, even though we had that a few years ago, Mania. I don't care if it's Cena Wyatt. I don't care if it's Cena Dan O'Brien, the rematch from SummerSlam.
Triple H versus Randy Orton. WrestleMania 30.
Yes.
2 full-time guys. I feel you.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't want it. I don't want it to get tainted because people have been very disappointed in the last 2 WrestleMania main events because they both included The Rock, who, as much as we are entertained by him, wrestling-wise, doesn't live up to the standard anymore as he once did, and then kind of faded away. Now, he is a giant movie star, so his is a little different.
Wait, what?
I don't know if you heard about it, but he was the highest grossing actor of 2013.
I watch a lot of movies. I don't see The Rock starring in any of them.
Oh, no, his real name's Dwayne Johnson.
That guy?
That's The Rock.
I thought that was an imitator.
Shockingly, no.
Oh, that's weird.
Now you made me kind of lose my train of thought. But then we have, so like a guy like Batista, who...
Movie star?
Yeah.
Hey, he's in the new Marvel movie.
All right, we'll see how that one... Well, it's Marvel, so that will do well.
Yeah, I think they have some good marketing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But Batista's been gone for, I think we were thinking it was close to like 4 years now, somewhere along those lines. And even though he was entertaining, especially in his last run when he was kind of heel, he was entertaining with the microphone and stuff, to me, and this is just my own sole personal opinion, his in-ring skills at that point, they were at the beginning to me of their decline, which every wrestler gets to at some point. Now this is 4 years.
Not Scotty Too Hottie, who's returning on old school Raw.
Spoiler alert. But so like, if his skills were just slightly beginning to decline, he's gone for 4 years. Now he's back. Naturally, you would think he wouldn't be as good as he was then, and you're going to give him the main event spot. Well, I'm hoping they don't.
Who knows?
I'm all for him having a big match. I got no problem with that.
Right.
I just don't want him involved with the title. I don't want Lesnar involved with the title. Give one of them Undertaker. That can be a big match. Brock and Taker. That's fine. I don't want them in the final match of WrestleMania.
I felt this way a couple of years ago with the first Rock Cena match, and I've changed my mind since then because ultimately, I love doing this type of show. I love doing podcasts. I love talking about wrestling, and I love it to succeed. So if it does bring in the celebrity big player feature, if Rock is a movie star and gets eyes on wrestling, and we don't have to watch Rob Schneider or some celebrity get involved in the matches that, you don't want to see involved because maybe they don't have a love for the wrestling.
Watch out for Jeremy Piven at Summerfest.
Oh, I do every year. I buy tickets to Summerfest, and they say the event is canceled.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm out $85.
There's some typo on the ticket, and it says Slam instead.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. So if it can bring eyes to it and it gets people excited, I'm for it when it's someone that appreciates wrestling and is in wrestling. I love Brock. I'll watch Brock do anything. So if he's involved, I'm all for it. Undertaker's a part-time guy now. I know he's been there forever.
But he's not in the title matches.
But maybe at some point he will be again. Who knows? I'm okay with this type of stuff now. So Batista, those guys, as long as they make the best possible matches, that's what I want to see. But I'm okay with what you're saying too. I want the best possible matches. If Orton's going in champion, I want to see the best possible match and story of whoever that's going to be as his opponent.
All right, well, hey, here's the YouTube question. Who do you want Batista to face at WrestleMania?
Ooh.
I want to know who the Rosebuds want Batista to wrestle WrestleMania. There's your question. That's the question for this week. It just happened. Meanwhile, I got some bad news.
Oh. All right. I am sitting down, so I guess that...
Wade Barrett's thank you. Wade Barrett's podium does not go quite as high as it did on Raw.
No, it needs to go higher.
I want that to the freaking ceiling. That is the coolest, most hilarious thing in the world.
That's how I want to see Sting debut in WWE is he goes all the way up to the rafters and then
he sees Sting up there. And then Sting hits him with a bat and then takes it back down.
Yeah. Just like sets up the controls and just lowers slowly.
Well, Wade Barrett mentions how the new year is upon us, and I'm sure you've all made some resolutions, but I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Oh.
I've kept us here for 45 minutes just for that.
Yeah. Don't worry, everybody. We have plenty of decorum in here.
We do. Yes, we have quite the decorum. Let's be honest. Looking at all of you, there's no way that any of you would be capable of sticking to your resolutions. In fact, I guarantee that this time next year, you'll be just as fat, just as unhealthy, and just as unproductive as you are now. Happy New Year.
Take that, JTG. I assume that's who that was meant to.
No, he's not fat.
Yeah, but Barrett's a bad guy.
He is a bad guy.
Yeah, and he says bad things about, other people that are good people.
I know. He's mean. Makes me want to boo him.
Yeah, right?
I know. And maybe even hiss.
Yeah. And throw a crumpled up program.
An angry fist.
Yeah, right?
The last few drops of my soda pop. All right. Let's get to the main event. 6-man tag.
Yeah, Bad News Barrett wasn't the main event, by the way.
He was not. He was the semi-main. Because the main event then was Punk and the Usos versus The Shield. Again, what we expect. Fun match, as only these 6 guys can deliver. It was interesting because we had like the big chaotic finish, but then it didn't finish. And then we had a second chaotic finish. I found that kind of interesting because it was like, oh, here comes everything. Now Punk's going to hit the GTS and someone. But then the Shield fought back and got back into it and started taking it to Punk, which I liked because it was like, ooh, this wasn't expected.
Was that a tickle that you felt?
I was tickled. But then the chaos, like I said, once again goes, Punk hits a big kick on Ambrose. Or I'm sorry, not on Ambrose. He hit it on Reigns because Reigns was trying to spear Punk, but Ambrose inadvertently got in the way. So Reigns stopped in his track, pushed Ambrose aside, got kicked in the head, then super kicked by both Usos. Then Rollins flown over the top onto the floor. Usos dove after. Quick little combination between Punk and Ambrose. Go to sleep. CM Punk and the Usos get the win.
Victory.
Victory shall be theirs.
And it was.
It was.
And a great match.
It was.
Yeah. You get used to these matches in that you go, all right, this again. But you got to realize, yeah, it's having ice cream again. It's awesome.
It's a CM Punk ice cream bar again.
Yes. It's in the form of matches.
and it's crazy because I almost feel like CM Punk, and this is just my random observation, it almost looks like, at least the last few weeks, he's kind of just going with the flow and kind of rolling with the punches. But even if he's just rolling with the punches, his matches are still better than most of the guys' matches.
Yeah.
So like, imagine like if he goes all out like he did with the Lesnar match, or like he did with the Taker match, or like he did with the Jericho match. When we get that guy, it's out of this world. Right. This guy's just like almost like a ho-hum, and it's still like arguably top match of the night.
Yeah, that's him by the numbers of just what comes naturally.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah, he's just naturally incredible in the ring.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. And just as we're like wrapping things up, we're like, all right, putting the computer down. Good SmackDown ends on a high note. Tying the shoes, getting ready, refilling our mugs here. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, we have the beep, boop. I do the Wayne's World. Oh. Because I can't do the giant the things that Dwight does. Yeah, you do that. I do. We get Bray. Mm-hmm. Like again, Steven is so on cue with this stuff.
And not just Bray at the arena.
No, it's in
the compound.
It's that video. Like they always go back to that place.
He's in the Walking Dead barn. Everybody.
He's in the Walking Dead barn, and it's just him kind of going around. He's talking about, have you heard the good news? The earth is rotting beneath your feet. The human race is a bacteria that infects and destroys. He needed me. Just repeating, he needed me in reference to Daniel Bryan.
JTG. Oh, Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, it was Daniel Bryan, not JTG, surprisingly.
I'm not following it.
JTG is involved with Wade Barrett, clearly, as you.
Right.
Not in two storylines. Come on. And his fame works in strange ways. Now he has a home. Your words mean nothing to him now. He only hears my truth. Now he has a home. Just so creepy.
Yeah.
And it makes me, again, like we were talking about earlier, where can this lead to? I cannot wait for old school Raw to see what they do with this.
Right.
To see how it furthers along. Plus, you got Roman Reigns versus Punk on Old School Raw. Mm-hmm. Plus, you got these legends. Ric Flair is going to be on Raw.
Scotty Too Hottie.
And you ready? I wanted to make a crazy, out-of-the-dark prediction for this Old School Raw right now.
This might be my YouTube question.
This might be your YouTube question. Okay. Yeah, just one random complete prediction. Ric Flair is going to be on Old School Raw. Mm-hmm. That means Ric Flair's going to be in the ring. That means Ric Flair's going to have a microphone.
And possibly elbow his own shoe.
He might elbow his own shoe and his jacket.
Or Justin Gabriel's jacket.
Or he had Justin Gabriel's jacket and he gave it an elbow drop. There's a lot of talk about certain legends maybe appearing at WrestleMania 30, have like a special showcase. And obviously not the title match, but like a big featured match.
Right.
There are lots of rumors going around as far as people in it and who they would face or who they would team up with.
Ooh, Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant is supposed to be there. Yeah.
You get Big Boss Man. That'd be a good one.
Wow, you're really bringing us a downer and talking
Perfect.
about guys that are passed away. That is...
They're gone?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, dear.
Wow, thank you, Debbie Downer.
Hey, the Oscar shows the In Memoriam every year. Why not In Memoriam at WrestleMania?
Well, I out of this world prediction... Probably never going to happen, but if it does happen, you heard it from me first. Ric Flair is going to challenge Hulk Hogan for WrestleMania 30 this Monday on Raw.
Whoa. Really?
I'm just completely shot in the dark. It's probably not at all going to happen, but that is the one WrestleMania match that never happened.
Yeah, and that would be a rubbery, leathery match this year.
It would not be a fun match to watch. But
in HD,
especially in HD.
Could be 9/11 times 1,000.
Yes. But just imagine the nostalgia and how many people would still pay, even at their ages now, to see that one match.
Mm-hmm. For the title.
I'm not saying...
2 part-time guys for the title.
That means one of them's either winning the Chamber or the Rumble, if that happens.
That's right.
No, not for the title.
Well, that's a...
How's that for an out-of-this-world prediction?
That is out of this world.
Yes.
And in another world.
It is. Now, what you had a random prediction?
I have a YouTube question for the jerks out there.
Oh, yes, for your curtain jerks.
Yes, for the jerks. Who at Old School Raw does Brock Lesnar decimate?
That's also a great question.
Because that's
And the
what
answer
Paul
could
Heyman-
be Ric Flair.
or Scotty Too Hottie.
Or Part of me almost hopes Scotty doesn't show up and just disappoints you.
Oh, I'm done. I'm out.
Actually,
No
you know
more.
who could be? Isn't Rikishi supposed to be there too?
He's supposed to
He
be
just
there.
lifted Henry. Why not Rikishi?
Right?
That's another thought.
He's a big fella with his buttocks
Yeah.
exposed.
That's a great question. We both issued great questions to you, to your jerks, me to my rosebuds.
That's what we do.
Even if some rosebuds want to answer the jerks question, they can. If some jerks want to answer the rosebuds question,
That's fair. You
That's
can do
fair,
that.
right?
Yeah. One time only.
Okay. Well, for this one-time interaction of you being here with me one-on-one here for SmackDown AfterBuzz, I thought it went pretty swimmingly.
I thought it went all right too, but I fear that I go back to the lab and I'm destroyed.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens to the lab with Corey and Roman, you and all that. But in the meantime, how can people hit you up on Twitter?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks, and they can see me on Main Event here on AfterBuzz TV, and they can also listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, which is available on iTunes and ComedyPodcastNetwork.com. And of course, there was an episode with this man right here, Christian
I
Rosenberg.
got to be a guest on Curtain Jerks.
You were a jerk.
I was a jerk, and I had a jerk full time.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. We have a blast on that show.
You guys do. It's a very funny podcast. Make sure you guys check it out. And of course, you can always follow me at CRosieVOC. Hope you guys have recovered from the New Year. Corey and Rome might be back next week. Only one way to find out. You'll have to tune in. For Scott Narver, I'm Christian Rosenberg. We'll see you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.